If you play Roblox, you probably know Hazem and Preston, more famously known for owning Please Donate and Pet Simulator X. Today, we're going to be breaking down these devs and which games they have made to come to the conclusion of which developer earns more Robux. Let's start with Hazem. For this, we date back all the way to 2016 when the Hazem account was first created. He joined Roblox on August 12, 2016. Hazem was just an ordinary Roblox kid, hanging out and trying to find new games to play. Up until 2019 when Hazem became a dev for multiple Roblox games, which led him to eventually making his first ever game, Hazem's Builds. Since then, he was able to improve on his developing skills, which led him to create an additional game called The Compliment Machine in 2020. Fast forward to 2021, where Hazem created his first viral game, Type Race, this being from the game mode Squid Game. At the time, Squid Game was a popular TV show, and when attention was brought to the game, it took off, gaining thousands of players in just a few days. Even till this day, the game averages around 25 to 50 active players, while amassing 13 million visits in total, with a whopping 122,000 favorites. But that is nothing compared to Hazem's biggest project, which led him into making the game we all know and love, Please Donate. With his success, his game gained over 1.2 billion visits, over 1 million likes, and averages an insane number of 17,000 to 25,000 active players. Hazem has donated over 500 million Robux, and he gets a cut of every donation. He has over 350,000 subscribers and 2.6 million views with only 8 uploads. Hazem has brought huge influence over the Roblox community, while going as far as buying a huge billboard in Times Square. Now with that being said, let's talk about Preston. Build Into Games, more commonly known as Preston, created his account on September 2nd, 2011 to create different types of Roblox games, finding interest in sword fighting RPG games. In Preston's early days, he created 3 different types of sword fighting experiences. To further expand his developing experiences, he made one of his biggest projects yet, Limited Tycoon. After this, if we move forward in time, we can find that Preston made 2 new games called Guest Defense and Guest Defense 2 in 2013. Fast forward to 2018, where Preston released multiple simulator games, and that's where his biggest game yet, Pet Simulator, was born. Pet Simulator 1 took off while earning 50,000 players on the first day, and even got an award twice in 2018. After this, Preston kept updating his games and working on new ones, until eventually in 2019, he made one of his biggest games ever, Big Paintball. To this day, Big Paintball has gained over 1.5 billion place visits, while still having 5k to 6k active players till this day. What Preston thought would be a great idea actually turned out to hurt his career, by also helping him find what he needed to do as a developer. Even though Pet Simulator 2 did bad, he took it as a learning experience. He moved on and pushed through, and created one of the most famous experiences on the Roblox platform today, known as Pet Simulator X. One of the biggest reasons why Pet Simulator X became so popular was because Preston took the first 2 Pet Simulator games to forge them into an even better version. The game also caught a bunch of huge YouTubers' attention, such as Creekcraft, Digido, Nightfox, and Russo, which helped the game progress further. PSX totally blew through the roof with its stats, gaining hundreds of thousands of players on release day, and currently has an all-time record of most active players with a mind-blowing 1.5 million concurrent players. PSX is known a lot for their game passes, ranging from 100 Robux all the way to 2,500 Robux. Looking a little greedy here, Preston, if you know what I mean. Now that we have all this background information, we are able to hop into these games and see which developer truly makes more moolah. Now let's hop into Please Donate and just get a glimpse of the type of Robux Hazem is making. We can see that Hazem has donated a wild amount of 522 million Robux. That's like 1.8 million USD! And that's only a fraction of his Robux. The main way Hazem is able to gain so much Robux is through game passes and donations. Hazem gets a 10% cut from every donation. There was a study done by the YouTuber Lequay showing that Hazem makes roughly 3.5 million Robux per day, just from the 10% cut. Of course, this varies by how many people are online and if people donate big amounts like 1k to 100k. What we also need to find out is how much money he makes from his game passes. Hazem has 6 different game passes. Boombox Control, which is 49 Robux, the Donation Sign, which is 99 Robux, the Spin Wheel, which is 199 Robux, and it was sadly removed because too many people were getting scammed with this. We then have the Disguise Mask, which was sold for 299 Robux, the Cloaking Device, which was sold for 399 Robux, and finally, the biggest sign, which costs 100,000 Robux to buy. We sadly don't know how many are purchased per day, but if you take all the prices and multiply them, you can assume that they make around 1 million Robux or less per day. Now, with this being said, the game has been released for over a year, and if you multiply 3.5 million by 30, you can see that they get around 105 million Robux per month. And since we want that yearly, let's time it by 12, and you get 1.2 billion. Of course, this is a crazy amount, and won't always be accurate because of the inconsistency of the donations. And don't forget that he does have to pay his devs crazy amounts. And with this being said, we can conclude that Hazem has made around 2 billion Robux from Please Donate with all the added Robux. So now let's go see what Preston can make. Although we don't have a lot of information about the money that Preston makes, we calculated through all the different areas of Robux income they received to get an estimation of how much Preston really makes. Just from people playing the game and game passes being sold, a rough estimate is that they make 25 million Robux a day. Now that in 1 year is a 9.1 billion Robux. With this being said, you can definitely see Preston destroys Hazem with the yearly income of 9 billion Robux, with only people playing the game and buying game passes. If you want me to get into further detail to how much Preston makes with everything, then make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment mentioning it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll hope to see you in my next one. Peace.